Richician.
I'm the Doctor. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Casterbarus. I'm 903 years old. I am the oncoming storm, the bringer of darkness, and... Oh no, wait a minute, I'm Doc Richician 84. Sorry, I couldn't resist doing that little bit. Hey everyone, Dark Richician 84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 71, the last episode of 2022. Uh, let's kick this off. So the first three questions are from Matt and Alison Welch. Out of all the gifts you have received for Christmas, which one was your favourite to receive? Even though I'm sure all your gifts are all very special to you. Well, let me tell you, the presents that I've got this year have been the absolute best. There's three in particular that I really, really like. One of which, where is it? Hang on. Oh no, here it is. One of which, of course, is the pocket watch that Emma gave me, which needs winding up, but it's just so cool. The other two, of course, is the leather waistcoat and this jacket, which I am going to take off because I'm hot. Yeah, they're definitely my favourite three that I've received. Two, Matt and I both loved your deck profile on Dark Magician Ritual mode. Thank you. We both think it's cool to play some retrains of classic rituals in a deck. Have you thought about adding the original Magician of Black Chaos in there just for fun? Just to have a bit more of a Yugi touch and possibly get Dark Magician Girl, the Magician of Chaos out, like how Yugi did against Noah. um, I think I've thought about it. I'm not sure, but I don't know if I want to do that though. Um, I worry that it might make it brick a bit, and ritual variants of Dark Magician can brick, unfortunately. Although I don't think I did against Emma when we played a couple of weeks back. Um, but it is a risk. Like even Magician of Chaos Max is kind of tricky to use. Because sometimes I won't always have a monster to tribute to stop the opponent using monster effects that turn. Whereas Chaos Max Dragon and Blackbuster Soldier Super Soldier have proved to be more useful. Um, but the problem is with the level 8s, it's kind of difficult to get them out onto the field. I usually just rely on them being in my hand and summoning them off Magician of Chaos. Um, but it's kind of possible to do it though if I use Chaos Form or Secrets of Dark Magic, tributing Dark Magician and a Magician's Souls to get out the level 8s. Like I do have a spare Blue Eyes White Dragon that I could throw in if I want to, just send it off advanced ritual art and get any of the level 8s out, but it's difficult to find the room. Of course, if I did find a way to get the level 8s out more consistently, then maybe I'll consider the original Magician of Chaos. Just not sure at the moment. 3. If you added a fourth ace signature and favorite deck to the Dark Magician, Elemental Heroes, and Rainbow Neos, which deck would you add? Um, well, I would choose Legendary Hero, which is my fourth favorite deck to play, but the thing is about Legendary Hero is that it's supposed to be a fusion mixture thing of Dark Magician, Elemental Heroes, and Rainbow Neos, and use them to focus on Dark Magician, Neos, Stardust Dragon, Utopia, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, Deco Talker, and Firewall Dragon. But like, uh, and the other thing is, it's not easy bringing out the Link monsters. Don't get to do it as much as I like. And like I've said before, like Legendary Hero isn't as easy to play as it was like in the early 2010s. It just isn't the same. Um, so the next choice would be my fifth favorite, which would be Random All Stars. I think that would be a fourth ace, although the problem with that is since it's a one copy per card deck, it can brick, and it's not very consistent. So if that doesn't work out, then um, the better choice for a fourth ace would be my Magician Girl deck, which is my sixth favorite deck to play. Since that does work a lot better than Random All Stars and current format Legendary Hero, even though I like those two more. Um, so that way, my four aces would be two different Dark Magician decks and two different Elemental Hero based decks. Um, that would make a lot more sense, considering big original series and GX fan. Um, Next four questions are from Chris Reinhardt. One, um, so I was watching some of your deck profiles and noticed that you say certain cards hold sentimental value. If you had to make a small list, what would be your top 10 or so sentimental cards? Well, there's a lot to choose from. Well, I have a lot of cards, and a lot of them I'm very fond of, and there's several that hold sentimental value. It's kind of hard to list them all, but I do have 10 choices that do stand out. Of course, I will give honourable mentions to the first copy of Elemental Hero Stratos I ever got, and the two Orca cards that two of my Discord friends gave me for Christmas last year, Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. Um, I'm struggling to think of others. Actually, there are a few signed cards by my friends as well, like Max Warrior signed by Billsy, a Raw Decree, super rare from Dark Beginnings 2 that I got a long time ago, and a couple signed by Darkness L 1989. If I had to pick a top 10, here's what I'd go with. So yeah, we've got a mixture of Q&A and top 10 video right here. So number 10 would be Perfect Machine King. This card is the favourite card of a dear friend of mine, Brendan Oldman Sebi, and he tried to make a deck based on it, which actually did work. And he has a collection of 100 Perfect Machine Kings, all original print, like 50 Ultras and 50 Ultimates. Um, that was just great. And he ended up with a load of spare Ultra Rares, and he gave me this one. And I put this in my generic machine deck, and it served as one of the boss monsters, which I actually did get out once in the first tournament I played it in, which was the first tournament I ever won. Um, it was nice that his favourite card was fighting by my side and helped me go all the way. Um, I still have it along with what's left of my generic machine core to this day. Number 9 is actually a three-way tie between the three Rainbow Neoses that I play in my Rainbow Neos deck, which, well, I already explained it last week. When you ask me why they hold sentimental value, so I don't really need to explain much. Like one of them is one of my original copies. The others I got when I decided to rebuild the deck in the autumn of 2009. I've had them ever since, and they've been in my Rainbow Neos deck like for many years, and I just don't want to part with them. I've been through everything together. Like, and it doesn't bother me that they're in odd rarities, and one of them has a crease. Number 8 is um, my second ever copy of Mirror Force, which I've had since the start of GOAT format. Yeah, I say second because I did have another Ultra from Metal Raiders before, but I foolishly traded it away when it got banned. Um, it didn't make much sense. I guess I felt that at the time I didn't have a use for it since it got banned on the October 2004 list. Um, and then, of course, it came back 6 months later, and I thought, right, I need to get hold of another copy. So I got hold of this copy, and it's been in whatever variant of Dark Magician I played for years. Like, we're talking more than 17 years now. It's just always been there, except for the time where it got banned again, and the time during, like, sort of just after the halfway mark of Pendulum era, when I stopped using it because it did nothing against pendulums and wasn't great against Cosmo, Shadows, and BA. And this was when I started using Storming Mirror Force and Quaking Mirror Force instead, which proved to be more useful. And then Lynx came along and Link era began, and then Quaking wasn't as useful. So I put the original Mirror Force back in. Um, I still like to have it in there, like even though um, it's power crept, but I just want to have it. Just wouldn't be right to not use it. Then at number 7 is another three-way tie. It's my play set of original copies of Skilled Dark Magician, which I've had since like late 2004, early 2005, as I was sort of playing a deck focusing on Dark Magician round about that time, and the first incarnation was my Dark Paladin deck. Um, I played that, and it's been in whatever variant of Dark Magician I've played since then. Well, until I started playing Prismagician, um, and then eventually switched back to playing a pure build, like back in uh, winter 2014. So yeah, it's been in my deck on and off for many years, and it's now in my September '07 Dark Magician deck. Um, as well, it's my favourite format, and I like having my most sentimental Dark Magician cards in there, or most of them anyway. Um, I do miss running it in my current format Dark Magician deck. Problem is, it does take up a normal summon, which I prefer to save for Magician's Rod, really. Um, Magician's Rod, really. along with the fact that I don't have room, but still like to have it. Um, Number 6 is the first copy of Dark Magician Girl I ever got, the ultra rare from the Rise of the Duelist Special Edition. Now, here's the problem. I have 3 copies here, but can't remember which one is the original one. I think it's this one, the one from, uh, which is also in my September '07 Dark Magician deck, but I'm not quite sure. And the other 2 I have here are from my Magician Girl deck. Um, I mean, it did make sense to play it in those decks specifically. Like I would have kept playing it in my current format one, but there's a reason for that, which I'll get into a bit later. Um, but yeah, this holds sentimental value because it's the first copy of Dark Magician Girl I ever got, and again, it's been in my Dark Magician deck on and off, on and off. Even when I built a Dark Magician Girl deck. Um, I can't remember if I wait. I think I did play at least 2 in there. It might have been one of these copies as well. Um, but either way, it's still nice to just have them. Number 5 is a copy of Dark Magician that Dan Green himself signed at London Comic Con in October 2017. Um, like originally one of many in my Dark Magician collection, but I picked like the best conditioned one that I saw, or one of them anyway, and he signed it, and it was just the greatest day ever. Just meeting him, having a chat with him, and the fact getting a photo with him and Eric Stewart, and the fact that he signed one of them, like it's just great. It's uh, one of the most sentimental Dark Magicians that I own, um, and is a nice centerpiece in the middle of one of the pages of that collection. I love it. Number 4 is my original copy of Pot of Avarice, which I actually got as a Christmas present 17 years ago, actually. That I wanted to just have it, but I wasn't sure whether or not to play it in my Exodia deck or my Dark Magician deck at the time. I think I chose Dark Magician just because it recycles my Apprentice engine, including Magician of Faith, um, and then this and Magician of Faith would keep constantly recycling each other, which was just great. And yeah, I think I may have had it in Exodia at first, but then it moved over to my Dark Magician deck. I did get another copy eventually, to specifically put in Exodia, but Pot of Avarice just ended up being one of my more useful and most sentimental cards. Um, I mean, sure, it's not an ultimate rare, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not bothered about rarity, as you know, and it is still an original print at first stead. Um, and it's just a great card to have. Um, Number 3 is my Magician's Force print of Dark Magician Girl, which is also a Christmas present I got for Christmas 17 years ago. Um, yes, that's right, the original print, and I got it back when it was easier to get and not like worth a ridiculous amount of money. Um, Especially first ed. I mean, this one isn't first ed, obviously, but editions don't matter to me. So yeah, I got this, and this is also um, a card that has been in and out of my Dark Magician deck, and I just wanted to have it. Wait, this was what I think I played in my Dark Magician Girl deck along with my first Dark Magician. Of course, I don't know why I didn't think of that. And I've just had it for many, many years, and even when I wasn't playing it in a deck, I never wanted to get rid of it. And it's sort of playing Magician Girls, and then when we got the Legendary Duelist 6 support, which supported both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, that gave me the excuse to once again play um, this copy of Dark Magician Girl side by side with my original Dark Magician again. um, and yeah, I've had her in my deck ever since. Um, uh, yeah, this should be like a protector or something, or even graded, but it doesn't matter to me. I just like playing her in a deck and flexing. Um, number two is another tie, and that is between Vanilla and Blade Rabbit. Why, you ask? Well, um, I received these round about the time when um, me and Emma knew each other in uh, like late 2011 and early 2012. As she loves rabbits and really likes all the rabbit cards that we got. And I'm pretty sure she gave these to me like some point in early 2012. These cards make us think of each other. She has these cards as well, and I've just had them ever since, and they just make me think of her, like even more than ever. Now that we're a couple, um, and I've never got rid of them, and they've um, stayed in a collection of cards that I've either been given as gifts or I've won through something. Um, they've even been mascots for a while. Regardless, still have them, and obviously I'm never going to get rid of them. Uh, it's nice to have them and just make me think of the love of my life. And finally, in at number one, the most sentimental card I have is my original Dark Magician. I think it was pretty obvious, wasn't it? Yeah, the first Dark Magician I ever got. Originally, my brothers, like when we were starting out in the game. I mean, he got the Yugi starter deck for his birthday, and played it in his random deck. But then after a few months or so, like I just really wanted to have a Dark Magician since I ended up liking it more than Robotic Knight, and he kindly traded it to me. I mean, he wasn't too bothered. I think he liked the dragons a lot more, especially Blue Eyes White Dragon. Um, and I've had it ever since, and it's been in my deck since, well, almost the beginning, really. Whether it was my random deck, Exodia, randomly, or whatever incarnation of Dark Magician I had. Um, and I was just really sad that I had to take it out in the summer of 2012 just because it was marking the back of the sleeves. And of course, what was it, last year? I decided to play it again anyway, as long as I use strong sleeves like Dragon Shield, and it doesn't actually mark the sleeves, like, or affect my draws in any way. And no one else minds that I'm playing it. But it's just nice to play him again and duel side by side after not playing him for 7 years or so, and he's just been around my neck. Um, I did play other starter deck Yugi versions from 2012 to 2021, but it just wasn't the same. Um, yeah, it's nice to play my original copy. I always get him out whenever I can, and it's still just really, really annoying when my opponent either banishes him or plays a card that turns him against me, like Snatch Steal or whatever. Um, like having him turned against me is just the biggest insult. It's like, how dare you use my favourite and ace monster against me? Like, I'd rather he was banished than turn against me. But even then, it's just infuriating when my opponent banishes him. Um, and then I just swear revenge against anyone who does it. Problem is, there's two that I won't ever be able to get revenge on. Someone I played against in a city tournament who banished it with DD and stopped me winning through end of match procedure, and you know, Katie from my locals back when she was playing used a Magispector card to banish him, and sometime after that she quit the game. Ugh. Um, Now, as annoying as it is that my other two copies that I play get banished, I'm not as bothered about that as I am about my original getting banished by the opponent. Um, yeah, like I said, I hate it when my opponent uses a card that stops me from being able to play Dark Magician. Um, and then I go on a relentless revenge rampage and make them pay dearly, either by defeating them or at the very least doing something to hurt their deck just to spite them. um, anyway, yeah, I digress. But yeah, there you have it. My top 10 sentimental cards. Um, Two, does Emma playing Light Swan change your mind on how you feel about Light Swans, or still not a fan of them? Um, it's hard to say, really. Because, well, regardless, like I said before, um, I, I've not hated Light Swans in the same way that I hate all the other decks that I hate. I mean, I only expressed hate towards them in the past because they seem to hate me and just don't want to work with me and Dark Magician. Of course, I'm still happy to play them in my Light Ray and Legendary Knight decks because it's the only way to make them work. Um, and I've not minded playing Emma's Light Swans on and off camera just to show her how they work. Um, But regardless, I'm still happy to play against Light Swans anyway. I mean, Light Swans have never been a deck that I hated playing against. Like, even when they were one of the top decks in the meta, they were difficult to play against and beat, but um, otherwise, no hate there. Um, I still don't know about Dark Magic Sworn. I'm still not sure about ever playing that deck again. Um, like, that's the thing. Um, Maybe I'll consider it still, like especially since I've got the Dark Magician deck Grand Championship coming up, and I already have the lineup of decks that I want to play um, when I start filming it. Um, I just don't know if I'll make it a last minute entry or just save it for the doc. Richician's Deck Ultimate Championship. Um, Either way, though, I'm still happy to play against opposing Light Swarm decks, and I'm still happy to use Emma's Light Swarm deck in a game. 3. Have you seen the Flash TV show, and will you be watching the new season? What have you thought about the show? Uh, no, I haven't. The Flash hasn't really been a hero I've been interested in. I'm not saying I hate the Flash or anything. He just didn't interest me as much as Batman and Superman. Um, Though that being said, I've only seen like a couple of episodes, but they were only crossover episodes with Supergirl and the other um, heroes. Whenever there's been a big crossover, the problem is I've not seen the big story arc involving different dimensions being in danger. I can't remember what it was called. Uh, what was it? Oh, mate, this is gonna piss me off. Um, Trying to remember what it was. Like, I know it was round about the time of Supergirl season 5, so we're talking like late 2019, like back when all the seasons then were showing. Oh, what was it? I really hope you know what I'm talking about. um, 4. What's your favourite Christmas theme cards? Mine is Starry Night Dragon and the rest of the Starry Night cards. I'm pretty sure I kind of already answered that last week, but to answer the question regardless, that would be Santa Claus and gift exchange, which I thought was present exchange, but it's actually gift exchange. Santa Claus, because it's, well, meant to look like Santa, even though like it's demonic. But I like gift exchange more. I think it's a very wholesome picture, and I love what the card does. I think it's really great. I think that's the most Christmassy card, definitely, and that has to be a favourite. And the last 3 questions are from Weber's 5. I needed to turn up the heating a bit more because I'm cold now. Oh, there's the siren again. Might not be down tomorrow. Got a bit of a cold, but I'll see. Well, that sucks. Hope you recover from your cold. I hope you'll be down tomorrow. Um, like, especially since I want to have a crack at Endymion and you know try and defeat it once and for all. Um, that's what I want more than anything in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Anyway, 1. Did my vodka meet your standards? Uh, yeah, it did. I mean, it was sweeter than I thought, which took me by surprise. But I love it though. Like, if ever I'm given some more, I'll happily have that or any of the other flavors. Uh, 2. I thought your Dark Magician Kaiju Mode deck was very interesting. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy. All of you guys really enjoy the different modes. Had any thoughts on the next mode? As a matter of fact, I have. I'm currently working on a Dark Magician Legacy mode where it basically uses cards that I played in either old versions of my pure build or other incarnations that I played over the years. Dark Magic Strike, Dark Magic Spell Counter, Dark Eradicator Warlock, Pendulum Dark Magician, Prophecy Dark Magician, things like that. Having some difficulty though. It ended up being a 60 card deck. I feel like it's the only way it could work, but I'm just not confident that it will be that consistent. I would like to try and drop it down to 40 if I can, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. Because obviously, as you guys know, I prefer playing 40 card decks, always have, always will. Because the less cards you have in a deck, the more likely it is that you'll draw into them. Whereas the more cards you have, the more likely you're going to brick and not draw what you need. That being said, I kind of, when it comes to my Toons, my Legendary Knight and Light Ray decks, I have to play more than 40 because Light Rays and Legendary Knights play Light Sworn cards, and I need to be able to set up for the Light Ray monsters and Legend of Heart, whereas Toons, obviously, I'm going to banish a lot of cards off the top of my deck with Toon Kingdom, so uh, yeah, I kind of have to play more so that I don't deck out. Um, so that being said, decking out with either of those decks hasn't happened yet, but it never got to that point. Anyway, back on topic. I feel like maybe I should focus on either only playing old cards that I played in my pure build, or just focus on playing the cards I have in my current build, but also cards that I played in previous incarnations, rather than both. I don't know yet. Either way, I doubt I'm gonna use it in a tournament. Because uh, I don't feel confident that it'll do well. It's already bad enough that I've not done well at all in the last three that I've played since my return. Um, yeah, in the last two, I've only won one match and lost all the others. Um, whereas in my the one before that, the return one, I didn't win any games at all besides that bye win, and I got two losses and a draw. Like I said, bye wins don't mean anything. Um, um, been disappointed with my progress in tournaments so far. Um, but not that I'm bothered that much. Like, because all I was interested in was defeating Endymion and trolling Ishizu Tears with Penguin Knight. So it doesn't really bother me that much. Um, um, Other than that, I'm not quite sure what to do with Dark Magician at the moment. Like, so far, the anti-meta version, the Fusion Friends version, and Kaiju mode didn't really work out as much as I hoped they would. Um, so just debating what to do for next time. Um, but provided I do win against Endymion, if you're down tomorrow night, then there won't be any need to play in them. Which does bring me to the next question. 3. Now you've succeeded in doing Penguin Knight and Neko Main King against Tears, what's your next goal on a move you want to do to the meta? Um, well, I don't actually have one, really. I mean, it would be nice to defeat Billsy, Jude, and now Noah in a duel, considering all three of them banished my Dark Magician with a bestial monster. Actually, no, Jude didn't. He used Sword Soul Changing to do it, whereas the other two used a bestial to banish them. Um, and I mean, I'm not that bothered if I don't manage to do it. At least not in a tournament game. There's still pass format tournaments like Edison and casual games, of course. Um, but that's it really. Although it would be kind of funny to um, defeat um, tier elements and flunderies, considering that from what I can tell, they're both the top decks of the meta right now, or at least the ones that are the most feared. Um, don't know if splites are up there, but it feels like Shizu Tears and Blunders are definitely there at the top. Um, so it would be funny if I beat them with like an original non-meta deck. Um, but we'll see. Um, might not even have to do it in a tournament game. I don't know. Um, but that being said, though, at the same time I really, really don't want to play against Thunderies, considering what they're capable of. I mean, like I keep saying over and over again, I've never played against them, but based on what I've heard about them, I really don't want to, especially since they can play multiple copies of D, Fissure, and Macro now. Um, plus, I really don't want to deal with any bestial monsters anymore. Like, I really, really fucking hate bestials. They're so cheap and dirty, just banishing light and dark monsters from my graveyard. And at any time, if I control the monster, um, I'm getting really sick and tired of it. I It's getting to that point where I actually wish that Druis Worm and the other one, Mag, I don't know how you say it, was fucking banned. Um, or at least I wish they didn't exist. Um, I mean, sure, you could argue that playing a fire, water, wind, or earth deck can just counter them and stop them from doing that, which is true, or just a mixed attribute deck. But um, light and dark decks still suffer, especially since Dark Magician and Rainbow Neos are two of my main jams. Um, it's just infuriating. I don't want to deal with them anymore. I mean, yeah, Ghost Spell's the best counter to them, but as I said in the tournament report, whenever a Bestial was dropped on me, I never had Ghost Spell in my hand. Like, typical luck. I mean, and it really does go to show that just because there are outs to an annoying card doesn't mean you're always going to draw into them or see them. Um, and it sure as hell doesn't justify the existence of annoying cards. Like, I don't care what anyone says, there is nothing that can justify Bestial's existing. Fuck that archetype and everything it stands for. Um, and once I do get round to eventually defeating Endymion, like that's it. I'm gonna be done with tournaments because I won't want to deal with Endymion or any meta deck like ever again. Um, and then the only tournaments I'll be interested in after that is pass format. Um, but I'll still consider like speed duels and even future Pegasus challenge ones. Then again, I'm not too sure about Pegasus Challenge either. I mean, yes, I did win the latest Team Sorcerers one with Dark Magician, but I'm still just not sure. Because it would mean I might have to play against meta, and B, I've had a lot of bad luck in Pegasus Challenge games, like since the summer of 2021. I mean, yes, I did win that one with Red Eyes, which you hosted, but after that, I keep having bad luck where the negative rules and conditions keep screwing me over. Both like in the first two um, Team Sorcerers ones that me and Express Gaming did, and that Battle Royale Pegasus Challenge duel, which I talked about in a video I did on the Team Sorcerers channel. Like, I'll just summarize what happened. Like, basically, I was using my Elemental Hero deck, and there was a point where I had all 3 copies of Miracle Fusion in my hand, and then a card destruction condition was played, and I was like, no! And that just royally fucked me over. I mean, I still had ways to fusion summon, but not consistently, and I was really hoping I'd get something where I'd be able to get my Miracle Fusions back, but that didn't happen. Instead, uh, we landed on a rule where all our graveyards got banished, and that just really annoyed me. That was just insult to injury. I did finish second though, but I only lost because I decked out. Um, and I've not been wanting to do them anymore after that, although Express Gaming kind of convinced me to do another Pegasus Challenge tournament as we did, and there were times where I still got fucked over, but I was still able to make a comeback and eventually uh, win the whole thing. Um, so, yeah, it is possible to come back after getting done in by a negative rule or condition, but it doesn't always happen. And I'm still just not sure I want to do any more Pegasus Challenge games because I keep having bad luck with them. Um, Anyway, yeah, I digress, but I thought I'd bring it up, and fuck me, this video ended up being longer than I thought. But yeah, that is it for questions in this episode, and the whole of 2022. Thank you very much for your guys' questions, and if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Tuesday afternoon or evening, UK time, so be sure to get your questions in before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, hope you have a happy new year, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.